Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I'm out here sitting outside while Adam's at the dentist. He left to go to the dentist, and it's real cool today so far. It's supposed to get up to 97 here in Texas, northeast of Dallas, and it's supposed to be up to 97. It's August 25th, 2025, 8:48 a.m. this time. Out here in the morning. Imagine that. But yeah, starting tomorrow, we basically kind of switch from how do they call it these days? Meteorological, is it? Which one is it when it switches from month instead of the date? But we're basically going into autumn here. We had a really good summer, truthfully. Cool, C-O-O-L, summer, really. For here, I mean, we've had so much bad. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to talk about, again, about, when you find people online that you see as totally different than what you are, and they do things you feel like are just despicable, just disgusting. You can name all kinds of words for it. It's not that you just disagree, it's that people don't do that. It's not socially acceptable. It's it's just kind of a little bit, well, for some people it would be kind of shocking, and they'd say, who taught them this? Who taught them that this was okay to do? It's that kind of surprising, and you know that they know that they're doing it. Like if somebody's making a video, okay, and they take video clips. I do mine on my cell phone, so I don't do all that what people do. I mean, I could, but that of going in and editing, putting it on the editor and going through. I know how to do it. I've done it. A few days ago was 11 years that I've had my original YouTube channel. So yeah, I've done it. Been there, done that. I've done live stream. I've done that. Yeah. But at this point, I don't really care to do all that. And I had my first computer in 1982. I'm not wanting to reinvent any wheel or for myself or learn new things, continue to learn new things. I've learned plenty, okay, over all these years. So. Anyway, but that as far as editing, I know it takes a while, but some of them, they just, they want so much sympathy and empathy, somebody to feel for them so bad. Say, oh, it takes me all day to do just one video, and I'm thinking, if that takes you all one day, because some of it actually does not have to be. Like I said, I've done the editing thing. Some of it doesn't have to be recorded in a way that they have to spend so much time editing. You see, some of it, they just need to learn how to record it better. And I know I'm no example and all that, but my videos are for me. Really, I mean, my videos, many, I'd say almost all of them, well, it depends on the topic, but it's for venting, pressure release valve. And I'm not trying to change anybody's life. Like some of these people, they think, oh, because they've experienced it, therefore they can be life coaches. Yeah, anybody can, well, it depends on where you live. If they allow it, practically anybody can be a life coach. It just, like I said, depends on where you live. And some places will slap you silly if you think you're going to, because some of them think that makes them counselors, and that they diagnose people. No, but like I said, probably depends on where you live. But I don't think any place in the United States would say that's okay. I really don't think that it would happen. Anyway. But some people that just let's get back to this part. That some people who just really get to you. Really just, and you have to wonder. This is what I thought of this morning. I mean, I'm not new to this life, new to this world. And So it's not like it's totally brand new. I don't think anything really is these days. For me, totally brand new for me. It's a new thought. No, these are, I've been there, done that. Probably several times. But to think, why am I watching this person? I mean, really, sometimes you have to say, okay, what's going on in my life right now? I think more people need to learn how to do this. What's going on in my life right now that I would sit there and watch somebody I find totally despicable, totally just disgusting all around, has poor hygiene habits, that go beyond anything. I mean, I've seen plenty of them in my life, and I've seen plenty of people in my life who are just really great. I mean, I'd say overall, most do. Most have normal to great, hygiene habits. But then there's ones. We all know somebody who's just really bad. And you're like, gross. We all have a gross out in line, a little boundary. Okay, that's gross. Seriously. Or anything. Like, I remember watching a video one time of a woman who was doing delivery, and somebody else must have said something to her because she mentioned it and I didn't tell her, but she was doing deliveries, like, I think it was I don't want to name the company, but it wasn't like food, like from restaurants. It was some other one. And, not the big people, but, ones of them that do the gig work. And not, people who work for that company. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Gig workers, the ones who do the, like food delivery. The ones that, they're independent contractors. Okay. So, anyway, she was an independent contractor type. And, fair warning, gross stuff in this video. And right now, she was, it was hot outside and she sweat, and she used her hand to wipe the sweat off her face and her hair, push her hair back. I'm like, gross, gross, gross. Now you're touching their boxes. That's so gross. And somebody else, like I said, somebody or several people must have told her, because she made a remark that she brings herself a towel with her or something like that. It's still kind of gross, but seeing what she was doing in comparison. Yeah, and there was one of them, I mean, I know people told them. It was a married couple. And basically, not that one, but close enough, gross enough. But, yeah, that people left messages, left comments, comments, saying, don't do that. And okay, that they know. That they know what they're doing because they have to edit it. And now I'll push those together. And they edit it, meaning they sit there and they watch all these, clips, and they have to decide, okay, I'm going to cut that part out and that part. And they see, like, that person, the one that they're videoing, let's say the man was videoing the wife, the husband was videoing the wife, for their video, and she's pulling on her nose. She's sticking her pinky in her ear. One of them, she actually put her hand on her, she was a delivery person, food delivery. She was actually putting her hand underneath her, she put her hand underneath her left, her armpit, in her armpit, and scratched. Gross! Just me saying it gives me, I just got like a little chill, goosebump. Ugh. Just me saying it is bad enough. I'm well aware of that whole thing. It's disgusting to watch, but it's disgusting to hear too. So I gave fair warning. It's just, this is something people need to say. I think, not, I don't give anybody any advice or tell them what to do and not to do, because we all know some people can be dangerous. So, we shouldn't be giving that kind of advice when some people can be dangerous. Anybody can be dangerous. A sweet person all of a sudden go bonkers. I mean, it can happen. So it's not a laughing matter. Not a laughing. You got it. Oh my goodness, today I'm telling you. But anyway, so back to this. Okay, so anyway, some of these people, you know, some of the, I mean, like that married couple, they stopped doing the delivery. Thank goodness. Maybe somebody actually reported them to, you know, the delivery company and said, hey, this is totally gross. And they you know, they can narrow down who it is. You find out what area they're in, delivering. You know, they do a face recognition. Boom, there it is. You know, I would think that's how it works. I mean, this AI stuff is amazing. It's not new, people. And I'm going around saying, AI. I said, this is not new. It's just been bumped up quite a bit. Okay. Anyway, to get back to this. So, you know, you have to question, I mean, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm telling myself, you have to think once in a while, why are you watching this person? Because, you know, I made a video saying that this person is so despicable, and I decided I went in and I actually went in and I unsubscribed, and I did unsubscribe, and there's still something. And you know, like I said, I'm not new to this. It's my first rodeo. But there's still something about this one that I'm wondering, what is it that I am curious about? Now, I want to see something. Now, I'm not one who, you know, I'm not one who believes in wanting to see bad things happen to anybody, you know. I don't become what I hate. I don't. You know, people who have no empathy for anybody else, I don't want to become that. You know, I don't want bad stuff to happen to anybody. What I would prefer, of course, you know, being this type, is that they get a clue and work on changing their ways. We all know, I'm pretty sure many of us, if you're around my age, know that that's not always going to happen, and it seems like it seldom happens more and more. That is to me, maybe not to you. I remember when I was young, I thought, you know, some people could change, and when you were young, maybe they could have. When you get to be around this age, it's like, you want to show me somebody who's changed? So, I mean, it could just be what I've seen. It might not be your experience. But that would be my hope, that something happened, that they saw the light and they don't want to go back to the darkness, you know, really. And I'm not, you know, I'm not one to want something bad to happen to them, that they would go back, you know, they would leave the darkness and go to the light. You know, just something, you know, I don't want it to be something bad. Do you see what I'm saying? There are a lot of people who do. So it's not that for me. And it's not the train wreck waiting to happen. You know, I know there are some people who want to see that. They want to contribute, you know, be a contributor to that train wreck happening, you know, train wreck happening situations, you know, that they'll spur that person on and say, oh, you're great, you're wonderful, you're this, when they really think, I just want to see that person fail. Some people like that. They get their enjoyment out of that, you know, seeing other people's misfortune or causing it. Okay, and I'm not that type. So what is it? It's, you know, I don't believe in that vengeance is mine. It's not mine. Okay, and I am a Christian, and Christian and a scientist, and I'm just not that type of person. Never have been, to want bad things to happen to somebody, like I keep saying. So what is it? I think, you know, and like I said, not my first rodeo. It goes right back to this thing of seeing the audience, seeing so many people in the audience leaving comments, you know, whether they're subscribers or not, I don't know, to this kind of despicable person. And, you know, I am well aware of how these people work. Like I said, it's practically scripted. They will take out any, you know, they will block, delete anybody who's negative, Anybody who's not glorifying them, the people making the videos, the video content creator is what they call them, content creators. They'll take out, or have theirs, if they have a moderator or moderators, they'll have them, so only the good comments show up. That's, you got to remember, these people have to sleep too. So they're not sitting there all night long waiting on somebody to leave a comment. And it's usually late at night if you're going to see anything negative. It's going to be while they're asleep. Okay, like I recently saw one on that woman, because I'm up late, as it is. I'm a night owl. And I saw one on that woman's channel that basically said, like it used to happen to me when I was on video. I would go on and off, putting my face on video. It's only been the past, I'd say, 3 years that I haven't, maybe, and people would recognize me in public. Seriously, recognize me in public. At first it was kind of like, whoa, yikes. But eventually it was like, okay, it's gonna happen, and because even though I make videos online, these videos, I'm a private person. I know, believe me, I know, but I am. So somebody seeing me in public, say, I know you. Where do I know you from? That was quite often. They just kind of sit there and they stare at me like it finally dawns on them. Yeah, it happens. So okay. But anyway, but somebody had left that woman a message, a comment. I keep saying it like it's one woman, yeah, but there were plenty others all this time, all these years, 11 years, but, different people, some of them still doing it, not from 11 years ago. I don't know. It could be. You never know. Could be somebody still doing it from way back then. And, because I tend to move on at some point and just, it is that they will recommend, they would be recommended to me out of the blue, and I look at one of them and oh my gosh, here we go. So anyway. So yeah, you can see the negative comments. Like that one left her a comment saying, basically saying she was very rude in public. Okay. So she was very rude in public. And they want to put off this persona that they are this or that, or they, like some of them will claim to be Christian when that's not how Christians behave, at least not any I've ever heard of. In the Christian Bible, really. I don't know enough about other Bibles, so I don't even try, or they're, whatever it's called. So I don't even try to say what, use them as examples. But Christian Bible is good for teaching people how to treat one another, themselves, God, one another, good behaviors. It's a great book for that. And so then these people are they're using this, this is nothing new, using it to make money, using it to, get their audience to con them and manipulate them, this kind of stuff. That's totally despicable to me. And, yeah. So, anyway, to get back to this, what is it? It's not the person. I don't like her personality, don't like her person at all. Her persona, nothing really. There is, and it's weird for me not to be able to find something that's okay about a person, but this one, the amount, so the amount that she cons people, she manipulates people in every video. It's like one of those, let's see how long it takes her before she finds a way to say that she needs money, to beg, but she's not saying it like that, and she doesn't even put it in those words. But yeah, I'm just not going to have money for, my budget for groceries or something like that. Well, it's obvious she has plenty of money for groceries. She'll do shopping videos. She'll do cooking videos. Yeah. $80 for a meal for two to eat at home. That's just two parts of it. Isn't it called courses? It depends on who you are, how you see that one, really. It was just basically meat and salad, okay? So what about the drink? What about dessert? If they're ones to do that, if they're the type. But you get the gist. There's plenty of money. It's just how, in what way is she going to do it this time? How long into the video is she going to make sure she mentions not having enough money for something, or that this is costly for her, or that or you see there's constantly, in almost, I think every video, maybe one every blue moon that doesn't have the begging in it, but then again it says it in the title. So no video ever gets out without some kind of, pretty much e-begging, okay? And anyway, what is it? Like I said, like I was saying, it's about the audience. It's about, will you ever, how many people are you going to still see praise this woman, glorify her? And it's sad to me. I would want to see them waking up to what's going on. But when you get to be a certain, I've been on YouTube, like I said, 11 years. When they get to be a certain amount of subscribers and such, it just keeps going and keeps going, because a lot of times people are looking for what they think are influencers that actually know what they're talking about, and they're looking for those, they're looking at the numbers and saying, oh, well, this one must really know what she's talking about or he's talking about. Well, that's not necessarily the case, people. Not necessarily the case. And that's what I feel what I really feel empathy for, is the people who are being drawn in and conned, manipulated, swindled. Their empathy is being, their heartstrings are being pulled. The people who live on fixed income, and they send in their last buck. They send in a couple of dollars. Contribute a couple of dollars. And if somebody's contributing a couple of dollars, they don't really have money. Okay, and then do they catch on? And when they see that this person is taking vacations, this person is, over the years, I'm gonna, tell you what I've seen over the years. People who, they get their money from their audiences, and then they go and make expensive purchases for stuff that is not essential. It's non-essentials at all. It's not something they must have. But they cry, cry, whatever way it is to beg. And people send them money, give them their last dollar. And then they go out, these people go out and spend their money on stuff you wouldn't believe. And then stuff, even the food, the groceries, when they show what they bought at the grocery store, this is stuff, these are the people who are sending them last dollar, they can't eat like that. You can bet if some of them actually say, I don't have much money, but I'll send you this. And then what do you think? They're looking at this person eating high off the hog kind of thing. This person is eating much better than they would ever be able to. I feel for them. My empathy, sometimes I just can't watch. I have to go, right now I'm watching Touched by an Angel series. Seriously, I am. Adam said he remembers me watching. I was never watching TV ever, and he's known me almost 45 years. He says he remembers me watching some, and I said I remember watching some of the Touched by an Angel. That was 9 years series, 9 series. You know what I'm saying, right? But it had 9 series. There, did I get it right this time? It's like I said, I've never been much on watching TV until recently. In my life, until recently. So, going back there, and that's good. It's so I kind of switched from there to there. But, to calm down, because to see people being used so much. So there's something in what I'm doing is why I'm going back. And like I said, I made that video that said, I unsubscribed, but then there was still something. Seriously, still something that I'm wanting to see. Like I said, it's not anything like those other ones. The bad stuff, bad people, no. So, okay, and I'm sitting here and I'm remembering what Adam always tells me when I go through this, because like I said, it's not my first rodeo. He says, you're looking for social justice. If you look at it, if you read your Bible, if you're a Christian and you read it, that's not a bad thing. Oh, these social media, some of them went through a whole phase of making that such a bad thing. Really? And they call themselves Christians? Really? Yeah, this is some of the stuff that a person needs. Because these influencers, and some of them, not all of them, none of this is all, but the ones who do this, okay? They, the ones who get there, and they don't know anything about the Christian Bible. They don't know any of that. I am definitely not a perfect Christian. I try to be. I try to live right. I always have been this type, to try to live right. And, but I am not one to quote, not too many, some, yeah, but quote scriptures, no, some. I always tell people, 2 Timothy 3, okay? 2 Timothy 3, avoid such people. But it just depends on which, what do they call them? Which editions, yeah, that you, like I said, I am not the one, and not that. But, anyway, really, one of these years I'd like to learn how that me just sitting right here, somehow my hair comes out of my scrunchie, okay, and it gets all in my face. The air conditioner is blowing on the other direction. It's not hitting me, and I'm just sitting right here. Really, seriously. And it starts blowing in my face and makes my face itch. Oh, such is life. But anyway, I probably should get to the point of wrapping this one up. But I did go back and look at this one woman, one of them. And it's not, like I said, it's not just one, but this one woman's videos, the one that I mentioned that I unsubscribed from. I did go back and I looked, because I'm wanting to see that. I am really wanting to see that. And, okay, something's going on here. I'm looking distracted, but, I want to see if something good come of all this, or something. But, instead, what I saw, oh my gosh, it disgusted me. I don't know if I mentioned that in that video or not. And I think I did, probably. Because one of them I deleted because I actually said got really close to saying what she does. Her latest thing, besides, somebody had told her, she did put it on video. More than one has done this in the past. Say somebody they're going to call haters, when it's actually probably somebody giving constructive criticism and being nice with it even. And saying, please don't do that, like screech and yell, or some people yell out the window as they're driving through neighborhoods, or to do whatever it is that they do that people find annoying, make a lot of noise, or live in an apartment and beat on the walls, turn their music real loud, whatever it is, and somebody saying, hey, that's not socially acceptable. You should think about other people besides yourself. Now, however they put it nicely. And with this, this type, you don't tell them what to do. And that's what she said. She said she was going to do whatever anybody tells her not to do, she's going to do it even more. And you can tell when she is, one of the things I told her to stop singing, because she's not that great at singing. Plus she'll hit a really high note on purpose and drag it out for quite a while. And it's so disgusting. I mean, can you imagine you got your headphones on, or your bugs, what do they call them? Bubs? Bugs. You know what I'm talking about. And yeah, here's somebody start screeching. Really? Because somebody said you're going to insult a lot of your viewers because of one person. You're going to get back at them. How old are you? Middle-aged? Really? So it's in a way to know what she's doing, to watch around when she does that. Something in there is another thing somebody, according to her, dared to tell her what to do, what to do or not to do. It was constructive criticism. I can imagine a lot of people, I've been around long enough in this world to know that a lot of people would say, you might not want to do that. You got egg on your face. Telling somebody you got egg on your face when you do that. Really nice, or what? That's not really nice. It's kind of sarcastic, but really, you see what I'm saying? And right, she did. But last few videos, oh my goodness, I cannot imagine anybody on this planet that would not have been so totally embarrassed. And I'm not going to mention what it is. I keep going back and forth. I deleted the whole video because of that. But maybe I did. Maybe I put it up instead and deleted the wrong one. But somebody who does something in a video that is so anybody would be embarrassed by. Okay? Anybody. Whether it's the person it's actually happening to, or the person that's with them, or the people watching. I don't think people are that blind, and to make it such a focus in every video thereafter, so disgusting. To get back at one person who try to give constructive criticism, I can tell you, because when I saw her do that the first time, I was like, oh my goodness, woman. And it was probably done by accident the first time. She just wasn't thinking, or whatever it was. So somebody's trying to say, hey, you got egg on your face. She didn't literally have egg on her face, but you know what I'm saying. And she takes it so harshly. Some would call that, I'm going to leave it out what it is. But for her to do that, like I just said earlier by the other one, to focus on that one person that you continue to embarrass yourself or humiliate, that's something that is humiliating. Okay, for anybody, I don't want to say normal person, but yeah, that would be humiliating. Okay, that would be humiliating for the family, for something like that. Seriously, if you can't look at yourself, think about your family. But they can't look beyond their own noses, and not even then, they're not even looking. So, and no, it had nothing to do with the nose, but it would be humiliating. And there's no nudity or anything like that. So anyway, so I saw when I went back and looked, and I saw this in 3 videos back to back. 3, at least I think. I don't know. I have a life beyond this. This is just, this is just my YouTube time, my social media time. But I have a life outside of all that, and but yeah, humiliating. But she's going to do it to get back at somebody for how dare they. In her mind, apparently, how dare they tell her not to humiliate herself. Because that's what it comes down to. That's people, when somebody says you have egg on your face, they're trying to help you not get humiliated. But then there are some people who you don't tell me I'm a middle-aged person, and I'm going to go and I'm going to throw a baby temper tantrum. I don't want to even insult babies. I wouldn't even insult teenagers. Because I don't know, I cannot imagine many teenagers would humiliate themselves like that. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. But anyway, so yesterday I did that again, and I got distracted again. This is from the neighbor who's always nosy. Okay, really, you're carrying out a paper sack full of trash, and you don't put the paper sack in the trash can. She's very judgmental of me, so I'm going to be judgmental of her. Who reuses paper sacks? That's garbage that they put garbage in. Anyway, yeah, I was earlier talking about hygiene, but so it's on my mind that way. I wouldn't do it if it's if it's paper. Throw it all away. But you don't get plenty of them. Anyway, rambling. I mean, this is going to be really long, but that's okay. Yeah. That whole thing, the whole somebody humiliating themselves. Like I said, I'm not a person who wants. I don't want that woman humiliating herself. You know. It's just. But to go and to show somebody off that I'm going to do what I want to do kind of attitude, even though you told me not to, you dare tell me not to do that, and that kind of mentality. Now there are some people who are just trolls, but somebody telling you don't humiliate yourself, something that you're doing and it's humiliating, and you're going to have that kind of thing, not you, but that person. Or people, like I said, I could use one to sum up many of them, because it's basically the same kind of thing, scripted. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, because this is probably really long. I'll talk to y'all in another video. Bye.